Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. And if you're new, I just want to say this. This is just what it is. Sometimes you're gonna come on here and sometimes this is what you're gonna get because a girl be busy and I'm trying to do this little hair video for you all in the morning. But as of right now, I need to come on. I cannot wait. We are on episode 6. It's called Legacy of P Valley. We up in the pink, and you know what? It just can't wait. So here we are. All right, y'all. So we starting out with the dynamic duo, y'all. We got our girls up here riding cute. They out here, they hitting every spot they can, hitting all the licks. And something I saw, they just have money flying out the window. That's when you know it's good. When you don't even care that you done lost $100 down the road or $200 or whatever it is. Who knows how much it is because it's so much we haven't even counted it. It's just flying. I saw the $20 bill. Has anyone seen the $20 bill and it had Miss Harriet Tubman on it? Because I had never seen that, but I also had not been to any stores in months. And I know it's a whole bunch of y'all out here who are supposed to be, I guess, quarantining, but is anyone even quarantining anymore? Is that a thing? Or is it just me who like to use that quarantine as an excuse to be a recluse? But now the life is like, world has opened back up. So now I got to get back out there. I don't know, but I haven't been to any stores. I haven't done any of that stuff. So I'm like, hold on. I remember hearing talks of her being put on, I thought it was a coin, but I saw Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. So if y'all seen that, drop down, let me know if that's really a thing. So Mercedes goes to the little park and she sees her baby out there playing tennis, and poor little thing, but she's trying something new. Her mama got her into something new, Shell. So Shell walks over there and all of her boxy awkwardness. She goes over there and she's like, what are you doing here? What's going on? Because you were supposed to get your child last week. Then all of a sudden Mercedes has to explain what happened. What was funny to me is how it's always, I said this last time or the time before that, it's always the absent parent who has the most critique about what the present parent is doing. And in this case, it's not even the present parent, it's the present parent's wife. So she's like, oh, if he knew, I forgot his name, if he knew what was going on with his child, he'd be rolling over, he probably turning over in his grave right now. She said, hold on, let me help you. He ain't rolling around in nothing because I burnt his cheating ass up. So he's sitting up nice and pretty on that mantle right inside the house. Now he ain't rolling, won't be no rolling to do for his burnt ass. I said, you know what, I like Shell. I like Shell a lot. Shell is, yeah, I'm feeling all of Shell and her Shellness. So Mercedes was supposed to get her daughter for the very first time. What I don't understand is, okay, this happened. Why can't we just reschedule it for the next weekend? What is so hard about that? Like, why does this have to be such a huge deal? I understand that Mercedes in the past has, reneged or, the plans fell through. But that doesn't mean that that's the case right now. This was something serious, and yes, she showed her behind, and her and Patrice got this scruffling out there, but I don't think that means that her child should just never go to her mother's house because she had a bad weekend. I don't know. Y'all comment down below. Am I being too lenient? Am I not looking at this from the right angle? Y'all tell me what y'all think. So now we go to Mississippi, and she there with Lil Murda. And I was just like, why is she trying to help him? Because she's up and coming. She popping right now, so she really doesn't need to help him. But what was funny is he asked the same question I think I asked last episode. Like, okay, you gonna help me, but who gonna help you with your man? Because he be busting her up. So I don't understand what she's supposed to do for Little Murda that won't jeopardize her face. Because it is, I don't know. But y'all comment down below what y'all think. Why is she helping Lil Murda out? I understand she's dancing to his song, but she could have got up there and did just that great with any song. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's like a weird vibe, but she just wants to help because she has a thing for Clifford. They all have a love for Clifford. Uncle Curtis, Uncle Clifford. Look, I ain't gonna do that. I've been trying to get it right. Uncle Clifford. So I'm like, okay, she's about to be his beard, and honestly I think that's a good look because it helps him, but all it is like going to work against her. So I don't know what she's doing, but we gonna find out. I just want to say I'm loving how they are setting this up, how Prime is doing this so much different from Netflix, and I feel like Netflix could learn something. A lot of the reason why, like some of the videos, y'all shows that y'all had asked me to commentate on, when they come on Netflix, it's ugly because everything just comes out at once. So it's like I could do like 1 or 2 episodes, but if you done binge watched everything in one day, it's really like the show dies. So I like how they're doing this, and they actually said it's gonna be, I think, to the 30th before the next one comes out. I don't know. They said the girls need to rest. All of a sudden, baby, they put on Bobby Womack. I was in the house singing to myself, and then the beautiful Miss Loretta Devine was down there dancing and singing to herself, and they touched on another issue that is like real prevalent in the Black community. Well, the South, I will say. She's blind, and she was saying that, you know, her feet still work, and as long as she lays off the carbs, that her feet, you know, she'll keep her feet. She won't get anything amputated. So to me, that was an implication that she is suffering from diabetes. And it's weird because when you talk to certain people, especially older people, they are of this mind that diabetes is not a choice. And I'm not gonna say all older people, because there are some young people that are of that mind as well. But I'm just like, here we are in 2020, rolling into 2021, and it's crazy how many of our elders, and I guess some of our peers, don't even understand that diabetes is absolutely a choice. To be predisposed is not a choice. But let me just say this, type 2 diabetes is a choice. Type 1 is, you know, there's no choice involved because that's from birth. But it is something that becomes over time due to the choices that you make in your life when it comes to diet, exercise, and stuff like that. Some people are more predisposed than others, but at the end of the day, once you're diagnosed as pre-diabetic, that, you know, you should probably do things right before then, but that lets you know that you are on that radar. You fall on that spectrum, so now you need to change some things. So diabetes is a choice, and the way, you know, she was talking, I just said, okay, that reminds me of my grandmother. And come to find out, she is Uncle Curtis's grandmother. So I'm like, okay, so where is his mother? Okay, well, that'll probably come out later on. But apparently, he was raised by his grandmother, and she's been there from day one. So they have a really good relationship, and it just touched my heart when she was like, wait a minute, come on, dance with me. And he went back up there, he got behind her, and he started two-stepping with her, and she was out dancing him. I love that. I love her energy. As a person, I like to believe in my head that she is probably every bit of what we see her act out, because it's like she kind of is the same person. Not saying she's not a good actress, because she's amazing, but it's like even in her characters, you still see a bit of her. And I'm guessing it's her because I always see that same light in all of her characters. So, I don't know, it's just great seeing her, Miss Loretta Devine. I think she's amazing. She's an icon, and yeah. Now, I know we were wondering a couple episodes back, what is going on? Why is Uncle Curtis Clifford struggling so bad keeping up on the payments of this, you know, property? And then he owns it. So where's the money issue coming in? It came from Granny. So Granny up here taking out all these loans and can't half see the numbers and doing crazy stuff. So, okay, I'm like, I know that as well, because sometimes that's what happens to our elders, and that's what happens to people in the Black community. They get stuck in these payday loans and these contracts that are like, you know, the predatory lending and all this stuff that affects them way more than other people. I ain't gonna even get into why it may affect them, but you know what? Y'all need to tune in tonight, because we're going to talk about a couple of things. I don't know what direction this thing is gonna go, but I know it's supposed to be disparities in the Black community, and also Kamala Harris and the sham, and you know, whoever. She's a beautiful Indian woman. That's all I'm gonna say right here, but we'll discuss that tonight, because I would like to get into her and all her Indianness. So, moving right along, we got our girl Gidget. So Gidget's man is in town, but is he really her man? I was like, oh, so he a piece of trash. He up here in the hotel getting topped off, and Big L came through. So Big L, it's just crazy their loyalty to Uncle Curtis, and I don't mind it because they all love him. They love him. So Big L is like, look, he gonna have to bust a move because he's trying to save this club, but not only that, he also needs to make sure that his position is secure just in case all their efforts are, you know, a wash. So I really wish that Big L was not getting tangled up with Gidget's man, but I understand it. So going forward, Clifford decides to go get his nails done. So Uncle Clifford's at the nail salon, and I was like, oh, look at him speaking that tangly. I like a bilingual or trilingual or multilingual. I love it. So he was up there talking with I ain't gonna call her name because I don't know it and I don't want to mess it up. So he was talking with the nail tech, and then he had them big old beautiful brown legs out. Once again, that's his claim to fame. Y'all can't tell me no different. All of a sudden, the mayor's assistant walked in. Now, last week, somebody in the comments has said that they thought maybe the mayor's assistant was the one that gave Uncle Clifford the papers, the appraisal papers, when he went down to the barbershop and was getting that Mayor Ruffin. Apparently not, because Clifford came in her in the nail shop like, look, you couldn't have told me how we supposed to be cool. Like, what? I'm the one who helped you get where you are. You couldn't even have told me that they were coming for my place. So now I think he kind of touched a little spot in her and kind of brought her back to reality. So now she knows her loyalty is to Clifford, because at the end of the day, she's working in the mayor's office, but the mayor has no respect for her. So, and I don't think it's just her. I think he doesn't have respect for people, period. Especially people who maybe be his skin folk. You know, there's all skin folk ain't kin folk. But, you know, just the way that he talks to her and just everything. But if she just keep her mouth shut, she's privy to a whole bunch of information. And see, Uncle Clifford knows that. So here we are. So we move on. Now, I thought it was so funny how we got Autumn up here teaching everybody about how to move some money. I'm like, who is she? But she's down there at the Waffle House or whatever they call it, the little cafe, and she's talking to Mercedes about how to do this the right way, how to move your money where you want it so you can get it when you need it without it being jeopardized. I said, okay, Autumn, teach him about that Bitcoin. So all of a sudden, Andre comes in, he gets his food. And the little exchange, I was like, it ain't over between them. It's definitely not over. Moving forward, Andre goes home, does what he does. He winds up in a dark basement, some room looking at old war artifacts, this, that, and the other. They down there drinking. It's two white men, one mulatto, and his black ass. And they down there in the basement. In my brain, I'm like, this just, something gives me, I get the feeling this is not going to end well. Something tells me this is not going to end. Okay, so here we go. Before it went through my mind 5 times, all of a sudden it starts going bad. So the brothers try to get Corbin to sign. They're treating him like the half-brother that he is, because we know he's not whole, and they want him to know that at every crook and every turn, that you are not one of us. You may be part of us, but you're not one of us. So they try to get Corbin to sign. Corbin does not want to sign, but the tides turn when they pull out the hammer and they point it at Andre. See, when they pointed the hammer at Corbin, Corbin was still on the fence, like, I'm going to stand for what I believe. But when they pointed it at Andre, now Corbin said, I can't be so stubborn as to cost this man his life. Now, to me, that said a lot, because it said too much. And we ain't even got time to talk about all of what it said. But he said, you know, they said the Civil War, one of the brothers, they said the Civil War wasn't over. It was over, but I like to believe it hasn't even begun. I said, is he foreshadowing as to what's going on in our climate right now? Anyway, that right there hit me. And I said, okay, so what does Andre do at this point? He just pointed the hammer at you. In my mind, I was like, please, Corbin, sign that paperwork. Once Andre gets that paperwork, I don't know if I'm turning it in. I don't know if I'm doctoring the paperwork. I don't know what I'm doing. But it's not going to work in the favors of these two white brothers, one of which held the hammer to my head as though he was in control of this, not understanding that you can do this right now, but there will be repercussions for your action. So, you know, through the hand of me, through my pen. So what would y'all have done right there? What would you do? What would you do going forward? Because I was like, I don't think I'm turning that in. I think I'm going to flip it to my advantage. And now we're going to go, because Corbin stuck his neck on the line for me, I'm going to go with Corbin and we're going to lease this land. Because at the end of the day, they wanted the brothers' land, but they could also go ahead and take the pink. And I know he didn't want to take the pink, but now this white man just tried me. So at this point, you know, I'm sorry, Clifford, you just gonna have to be collateral damage. You and your girls, y'all can figure something out, but we gonna rewrite this thing. That's what I was thinking in my head. That's what I would have done. I mean, I don't know. What would y'all have done? So the girls are down there in the changing room, and Autumn told Mississippi, listen, I'm gonna give you a combo to my locker. Pulled out little, you know, pink passion, and was like, you know, pretty much, if you need to get some stuff popping, she's your girl. I was like, Autumn is about that life. I'm just not fooling with Autumn, because I don't know what Autumn got up her sleeve, boy. But anyway, we see Autumn that made it to the big house, because now Mercedes has invited her to the crib. Now they really cool. They really, really cool. Because Mercedes can be nosy and go to your spot, but you can't come to hers. But now Mercedes is, you know, she's opening up to Autumn. They're talking about their kids. That, of course, is a touchy subject. So I like that they had that little bonding moment. That was cool. So I see Andre on the phone with his wife. His wife is gorgeous. So she's a doctor here in Atlanta. Awesome. I love that. So she seems a bit more progressive. He seems a bit more country. But when they had their little back and forth on the phone, in my brain, I was like, oh, he about to hang up with her and he about to call up Autumn. I'm so glad he didn't. But we go forward and we see who did make a couple of calls. So Clifford went down there. Well, Uncle Curtis went down there and made a couple of calls to get Patrice Woodbine out of jail. Is it just me, or is it weird that Patrice Woodbine on day 9 still had like day 1 messed up hair and day 1 clothes? Did she not change her clothes for 9 days and wash her behind and brush her teeth and do her hair? I don't know. That's weird. Y'all comment down below. Is it really like that over there in Mississippi or wherever they at in Tupelo? I don't know what they call it, where they at. Who knows? Now here goes the kicker. This is the highlight. This was like, I'm confused. I've got a billion questions. I ain't even try to figure it out because I'm tired, y'all, and I'm going to sleep. But y'all need to help me understand what is going on. So Andre did not call Autumn, but Autumn called Andre. She says she's gone. She's out of here. I'm leaving. I don't even need to see you before I go. Maybe this just a phone conversation shall suffice. So she called him up. She's on her way up out of there. I'm like, why is she leaving? What's going on? Then Maine sees a picture of Autumn, and we get to learn her last name. I didn't write it down, so y'all comment down below and tell me what it is, but it wasn't the same as Tremaine or whatever the other man's name was. But I'm like, okay, so Maine sees the poster of her. What happens? Does Maine call the poster? Does he snatch it down and go talk to Mercedes and say, here go your girl? What is going on right now? Why is she instantly all of a sudden leaving? Why did Maine see that poster? How many other posters are out there, and what should Maine do? Y'all comment down below and tell me where y'all going from here, because I'm like, whoa. So now we got a couple of days in between these episodes, and I just can't wait for the next one. I love this show. I love everybody in it. I love everything about it. And y'all got one with this one here, Prime. Y'all did it. So anyway, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, hit the blue bell for my notifications, turn them on, thumbs me up, and comment down below what y'all feeling so far. All right, I'm out of here, y'all.